Now, a Hutch's weather update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson, brought to you by Robert Gibb and Sons.
And hello, everybody. Meteorologist Hutch Johnson joining you. I hope you are having an absolutely stunning day out across the region. We definitely have some wild weather out there to talk about. As rain showers are continuing to pour through the region, let's get right to the radar as we do so. We'll take a look at what we have going on with some showers that are pushing into the FM area right now from the south and east. A loop over the last hour shows this next batch of showers moving through Otter Tail County into southern parts of the Becker County area, not far from the FM area as well. Now, these are generally moving northeast at about 30 to 35 miles per hour, and we do have some scattered showers up in the northern valley right here where we really need the moisture badly. Grafton, Stephen, Argyle, as well as Hallock seeing some showers push into Cavalier and Walhalla at this hour. Nathan, good to have you on board. As is always the case, a couple of things I'd love to have from you. It's always good to see what you are seeing across the area. Do you have your rain gauge out today? How much are you picking up? What's going on where you are? Drop it in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from. Paul, it's good to have you on from Scobie once again, as we are really smiling with the showers out here. Not all of us picking up a lot. Here are the measurements I have. And if you want to throw your measurements in on top of this, again, that's much appreciated. So here we go. Rainfall amounts from around the region. The darker colors are the heavier rain showers. So look at the Minot zone there, nearly an inch of rain out there to the east of Minot. And in the Minot area, about 7/10 of an inch of rain. Out towards Lake Sakakawea, 1/3 of an inch of rain, 1/3 of an inch of rain in the capital city heading into the evening hours there. So as we look in the James River Valley, 18/100ths, Valley City around 4/10. Southeast North Dakota, generally around 1/4 to 1/2 of an inch of rain as we've gone through the evening so far. Fargo not picking up much. The 1200ths that you see up there is the FM area. As we look on down to the south and east, though, the rainfall amounts really do increase. We're talking 1 to 2 inches out along the I-94 corridor, south and east of Fergus Falls, as you get closer in towards the Douglas County area. As we head into the evening hours, that heavier rain batch has moved through there. So 1.74 inches in Douglas County. And as we look up to the north into the Staples area, an inch there. Wadena picking up a solid 1/2 inch plus of rain. 7/10 of an inch right there at the big lake there in central Otter Tail County. And as we look to the north, it was drier as expected in northwest Minnesota, but we do have a few showers moving in. Your best chance of rainfall accumulating will be this evening. Thomas, thank you for your stars. Paula, thank you for your stars. And speaking of stars, I would be remiss if I didn't mention my wonderful sponsors over at Robert Gibb and Sons. A quick mention from them about an air conditioning seasonal check. Now, it's a cool and damp day today, but it's time to give Robert Gibb and Sons a call. And they have a $135 clean and check of that AC system just to make sure that you're up to snuff for your heating and cooling needs as we head into the summer season. You'll definitely be needing more of the heating element there as that goes. You get a 30+ unit inspection from a certified technician. Give Robert Gibb and Sons a call today. Now, let's take a look at what we have going on with this forecast. We are not by any means done yet, and the radar in our area definitely shows the movement to the north. And as we turn on the regional radar here, we'll have a better chance at seeing what's going on in and around the area. There are tornado watches with active tornado warnings pushing up to the South Dakota border right now with Minnesota. So in Lake Park, South Dakota, heading up toward Jackson, Minnesota, an active tornado warning for this storm up there. So the tornado warnings have been continuing across portions of Iowa tonight. As these storms move northward, their chance of continuing to be tornadic is not all that great, but they are punching up right next to that border with Minnesota. So that's what we have going on in these areas right now as we take a look. This particular tornado warning remains in effect for a storm moving north at 40 miles per hour. Basically in the Clay County area there. That's in Iowa, by the way, so I don't want to confuse that with our neck of the woods. Here up in our neck of the woods, we do have the wind advisory for all the brown counties you see there. Winds gusting over 40 miles per hour likely. We have the burning concerns up in the northeast portion of Minnesota, rather, up near Virginia, where a red flag warning is in effect, and it remains very dry there. But we are at this time getting some beneficial moisture right where we need it most in the northern part of the valley. Now it's been very dry on through central parts of Minnesota as well, so we could certainly use that rain. And as I showed you, the rainfall total's looking pretty good. Lane says Arizona to North Dakota. What's it look like Friday through Sunday? Lane, that's a great question. And we'll get to that here in a minute as far as the big picture goes. But for now, I want to loop this so you can actually see the swirling of the radar data here as this loads up. And in that swirling, what you're going to notice too, I'm going to turn off the watches and warnings for the time being so we can clearly see more of the radar display. And yippee skippy, here we go. Let's go ahead and put this into motion. You're going to see this counterclockwise spiraling action going on around the center of low pressure way down here near Lincoln, Nebraska, Omaha. That's where the low pressure system is, and it's moving slowly. So that means we're not done yet with the rain, but these heavier bands are swinging out into parts of eastern Minnesota right now. So we'll take a look at your forecast and show you what you can expect as we go through and glide through the evening tonight, because we are going to see these showers continue into at least the morning hours, and our western neighbors will have a slightly lower chance at seeing some continued rain. So here is a look at the evening forecast for tonight. Let's get right to some digits, shall we? First, we're expecting some cool temperatures here. Many of us in the 40s, but out to the west is where things really cool off. We'll be in the upper 30s, and that's where the flakiness and the chance of flakiness thereof will be. So rain showers will continue across North Dakota, the valley, and in Minnesota with temperatures in the 40s, right? That's warm enough for raindrops. But as we dip down into the mid 30s, it's certainly cool enough that snowflakes at cloud level don't have a chance to melt all the way into the raindrops. Thanks, Barbara, for sharing your, well, wonderful and appreciated gift of stars. Thanks so much. All right, now as we take a look around the region, let me show you what we have going on here in the valley. 40 for Grand Forks in the morning, 42 in Fargo, Moorhead, 43 for Fergus Falls. How about Bemidji? Babe the Blue Ox says a sprinkle is certainly welcome, and 40 degrees there. Hey, up in Lake of the Woods County, temperatures in the 40s to around 37. So do not be surprised if there may be a slight area or two up in the far northern counties, particularly up in Manitoba, where we see a few of these showers of rain mixing with flakes of snow. Woo! That's not very balmy, is it? Okay, here's what the weather map will look like in the morning. Notice it looks dry out in western and central North Dakota, but the isobars close together, and that means wind. So in an area on the map, you just look anywhere where the isobars are far apart. Up here, we're expecting our conditions to be a lot less windy here in the valley and out in eastern North Dakota, but gusty winds will be persistent out to the far west. Now, where the low pressure system will be by tomorrow morning, we'll be scooting on up in towards that Lake Superior area. The gustiest of the winds will still be with our central Minnesota and Lakes counties. We'll have a chance of some rain, and I cannot rule out some mixed precipitation in the far northern valley to begin the morning. There'll be no significant accumulation of anything nasty there. Temperatures throughout the day tomorrow, thanks to this northwest flow that will be increasing across North Dakota. It stays dry for most of North Dakota, but by late in the day, there'll be a chance of some flakes mixing in along the border, the international border. Brenda, thanks for sharing. That's another way you can support Hutch's Weather, by sharing this with your friend. And of course, I appreciate your word of mouth support as well. Kathy, good to have you on from Grafton, and I'm grateful for you as well. Thanks so very much. Check out Grafton tomorrow. This is a little area of low pressure breaking off from the main system up here, by the way. So we'll still have some areas of swirling winds. In other words, on the other side out in Minnesota, a weak southerly flow could be in places, but the wind will be a lot less as we go through the afternoon hours tomorrow on your hump day. 3/4 of an inch of rain just south of Edmore. Thank you so very much for sharing your report there. Roxanne, I appreciate that very much. Hi, Tammy. Good to have you on board. So how warm will we be on your Wednesday? Here's a look at your hometown forecast. With those northwest winds, we're going to stay in the 40s along and north of Interstate 94. We will have a chance at seeing some low 50s here in the Red River Valley as we go through the day. But again, our winds will be from the northwest, 15 to 33 miles per hour. I think the strongest winds will be out to the west. We'll be close to those 15 to 20 mile per hour winds here in the valley. And there could even be that little change of direction we were talking about in the valley, where we get some spots with light winds to even reversing and becoming southerly. Paul, thank you so very much for your stars and support as well. Bemidji, look at this. Babe the Blue Ox, 49 degrees as your afternoon high temperature. There'll be more clouds and more showers, but they will be exiting off to the east, as I showed you, across portions of Minnesota. We can do the hour-by-hour forecast in motion here so you get a picture of this. And I'm going to load that up on my fancy program up here real quick. So give me one moment while I load this up. And we're going to look at a model here that goes out, just a little bit more in time here. So that's going to load now. All right, let's take a look at this modeled guidance forecast. Oh, there is a lot of blue along the international border, and blue is, well, for some of us not welcome, but you know what? The shape we're in, moisture-wise, we'll take what we can get. We will take what we can get. So your timestamp on the top there says 6 p.m. Do you see it where my hand is waving? Hi, everybody. I'm waving at you. Hi. Okay, Winnipeg, straight down through eastern North Dakota. Here's your low-pressure center down near Sioux City and Sioux Falls. Showers and thunderstorms that could be strong. Remember, there are active tornado warnings along the Minnesota border this evening. A few of these may sneak into southernmost Minnesota. Severe storms with some hail and some spin. This is a pretty potent system, folks, with that risk for severe weather that's been going on through Iowa throughout the day. Now, check this forecast out as I set it into motion. Hopefully you could see your hometown. And by golly, if you have a question, just let good old Hutch know right here, and I'll be happy to answer that for you, just like the one for Arizona. I have not forgot about you. Let's take a look now as we continue our national look, or a regional look, I should say, at our forecast model guidance. Okay, so gliding through the evening hours, look at the rain that's in central North Dakota start leaning into the valley. Do you see that? It moves from here in maybe the James and Cheyenne River Valley into the Red River Valley. So we've got those showers moving towards Fargo now. Grand Forks has a chance of rain, and this is when we'll have a decent chance throughout all of northwest Minnesota at picking up some beneficial moisture for you. So where you're sitting at 1/10 or 2/10 of an inch of rain, the evening tonight and overnight could bring some very beneficial rain. I did hear from my good friend Jim. He's up here near Starkweather. He said some farmers were sticking seeds in the ground and they were just perfectly timed because they're going to get this beautiful dose of moisture up in that area. It's been fairly dry throughout the entirety of the winter season, even into early spring. So this time frame says 11 o'clock tonight. What happens overnight? The rain band exits central North Dakota. And by the time we get to the timestamp of 3 a.m., if you happen to be out walking the llama, what? Yeah, why? Walking the llama, walking the cat. 3 a.m. sometimes those llamas and those alpacas, they want to go for a walk at the most different times. But if you happen to be out and about, be sure you have your umbrella. It's still going to be rainy here in eastern North Dakota and northwest Minnesota. Zooming in, yep, you could see some Kenora showers. Look at a few flakes mixing in up by Sprague. Northern parts of Roseau County could see a flake mixing in, and maybe even in towards Kitson County as well. Just a couple, though. It'll be slushy at best, and I expect little to no accumulation. Northern parts of Beltrami County near Red Lake, Washkish, a good chance of some showers. Thief River, Red Lake Falls picking up some much-needed rain. Crookston, Fertile, Beltrami, all the way out till Foston and Bemidji, good chance of rain showers. A little drier as this model's rendition in the Grand Rapids area, but look at Minneapolis, St. Paul, a soggy soaker there. Okay, this gets us into the morning at 3 a.m. Now, how about your drive time? Boom. It's right over the Red River Valley. So multiple models are showing that this system sets up shop right here on the drive time frame between 5 and 7 a.m. right over the valley. And then it exits and it moves through. See that? That's some mid-morning snow in Roseau County. So let me know if you see that tomorrow. Christy says, glad you're still walking the llamas. Of course, it's a good day to walk your llamas anytime, right? I have friends who raise some alpacas in the south part of the state as well. It's a spitting good time. Look at Selkirk. Look at Winnipeg. Oof. Okay. Yep. Chance of snow. And that goes up into the northwest area and oil patch as well. So if you're in Crosby, if you're in Bowbells, you folks may need to watch out for a fast flying flake. And what about Paul and Scobie? Oh no, Paul. Okay. No matter the weather, thank you so very much. He says we're always a breath of fresh air. You'll get a little extra freshness in Scobie's air in the morning as you're north of Wolf Point, Montana. There could be a flake or two flying in the mix up there. The best chance will be up there in Moose Jaw, where things could get a little bit more moose weather-like. Okay, now as we go through the remainder of our day, the rain chances continue from Bemidji, Lake of the Woods County, all the way straight down into the lakes area of Wadena and Brainerd. And as we go through the middle of the afternoon, it pretty much exits. We're just going to have those intermittent spits and passing showers. And look at this. We head into the late night and overnight hours into your Thursday, and then it gets cold again. And this may be our best chance for a few of those fun flakes flying through the Fargo area, points north mainly. So a few cold showers of snow and temperatures that will support it. You want to see what I mean? Check it out. Here's your 7-day planner. Ooh-wee. All right, here we go. Temperatures will be only peaking near 50 to 55 degrees for a couple areas, but it does look like a cool day once again. Now, our wind will not be blasting out of the north. It will be a little bit less gusty as we go through your midweek day out there. And then as we head into the remainder of the week, things will be looking a little cool in the mornings all the way through the weekend. Now, the rainfall chances already we showed you, and I want to point out here, that we do have those wetter weather out in the oil patch. They picked up much needed rain out there from Williston and points north into the Minot area, a half inch or more, even over an inch for some along the Highway 2 corridor between Williston and Minot. As we look off into central North Dakota, a good third to a half of an inch from Minot down to Bismarck. A little bit drier down there in portions of the well, that would be that James River Valley, the Grace River Valley. As we look up to the north there, only 1500ths in places like, you in Cooperstown and New Rockford. Maddock, though, 3200ths. Met a great couple from Maddock this past weekend. It was good to say hi to you. I hope you're watching. All right, check out the enhanced rainfall amounts we've seen down in parts of west central Minnesota. That's where we have a couple places reporting an inch, and we have more coming to Fargo now because we really did get kind of missed by the first heavier round, picking up just over a tenth of an inch in Fargo. That's 1200ths. That's Fargo. Clay County out here as we get down a little closer towards Sabin and Rothsay, that's 0.8 there. So a little bit drier here. We need the moisture there as well. And how about Fergus Falls? A half of an inch or more. And then we get into the 9400ths as we look to the south, and that's Grant County there for you in Elbow Lake and Herman area. And look at this, Battle Lake area as you look off to the south and east quadrant of Otter Tail County, anywhere from 8900ths as you go through maybe near the Bluffton area here in Wadena, straight to your south. Over an inch of rain. All right, that is a look at your forecast. Snow, yeah, oofta. I wish I could control all that because what I do know, it doesn't look like it'll be too shovelable. Now, I'll be back with an update later. And again, your horse needs a bath, Roxy says. Well, maybe a shower. Just get out there with the horse shampoo and you'll be having a good old time. Don't forget your brush because after this wet weather, if your horse likes to roll around in the mud, it could be a little bit of a messy thing. Don't invite the horse into the house is Hutch's advice in this wet weather. All right, thanks so very much. We'll check back in with you just a little bit later. National weather, I haven't forgot about you. Let me not forget about that. Let's go right to it. Here's a look at this model guidance. And looking from the southwestern United States, I believe the question was Arizona all the way back up into the North Dakota area. I will go ahead and take a look for the specific time frame asked about, and that was heading into the weekend. So let's go ahead and take a look at this model. I'm going to go with to get us into the weekend, we'll have to go with this one. Okay, here we go. So still a few days out. This model is showing us a quick peek at what we have going on as we head into the evening. I'm going to have to go back to one model run prior because that one is not quite all the way in yet, so it won't help me too much. There we go. Okay, here's our storm system exiting now. Snow in the mountains of Wyoming, I should say, and up in places like Saskatoon and Saskatchewan and Winnipeg, including most of central and northern Manitoba. As we go into the 18th, though, things do start to dry up just a little bit. That's Thursday into Friday. Now, as we look at the forecast for the time you're asking as we head into the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're looking at quieter weather in the early part of that time frame. Look at Colorado, seeing some chances for some snow showers as we go into the wee hours of Friday night and into your Saturday morning. So another chance for some snow there. You can almost see this cold front dragging all the way from Halifax rather, down through the southeastern United States. So what this kind of a pattern is going to do, it's going to bring this burp of cooler air all the way into the deep south, as far south as Atlanta, Charlotte, and up into Louisville, Kentucky. So a refreshing splash of cool air there. But in the desert southwest towards Fargo and the northern plains of the Dakotas, things as we go through the 20th and 21st, Saturday and Sunday, looking pretty swell the way it looks right now. All right, that's Hutch's weather. Thank you all so very, very much. I hope I answered all your questions, and we'll check back in again a little bit later with your update this evening. Have a